This is going to be a very quick tutorial on how to create a newsletter using Google Slides. Remember that if I go over anything too quickly, you can go back to the Google Slides basics videos and watch how I have done all of the tips and tricks that I'm going to use in this. So to begin with, remember we're going to go to File and down to Page Setup and change this to an 8.5 by 11. You don't have to if your newsletter is only shared online. You may want to leave it in portrait mode, in landscape mode. But for this one, just in case it gets printed out and I like the look of the portrait, I'm going to change that. So this is the next week. This was the previous week that I created, and I just added a picture and added some text and added text boxes. So I'm going to show you how I did all of that. On this one, the theme is going to be a book theme. So I'm going to go to image. Previously, I just searched for fall. So on this one, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to search for books. And I'm going to use this one and insert it. And I'm going to make it kind of the banner for the top of the page because I want to insert. Come on. There we go. And so I'm going to kind of bump it up here, make it a little wider. Go over here to use the crop tool. And I'm going to crop it up to about here, I think. And then I'm going to take my little person, my little Bitmoji. Now notice when I put that over there, it is behind the pictures. So that's a order problem. So I'm going to go to arrange. My picture is still selected. You see the smaller handles there. So I go to order and I want to bring my picture to front. So bring to front pulls me up to the front. Now I can leave it there and I can put some text over here. I'm going to put a text box that says that this is this week in 4th grade. Now that's awfully dark text and it's very small, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to choose a different font. I'm going to make it white so that it'll stand out. I'm going to make it much larger, maybe even larger than that, 48. And I'm going to you can make it sit in the middle. You can center it however you want to do that. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to add some text boxes. So now on this text box, I'm going to add the first one. And maybe I just want to use a couple of columns. So I'm going to do it about like that. Notice when I click off of it, I don't see that text box anymore. So I'm going to give it a color. And I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. And I'm going to give it some nice dashes and dots. And now that I've got that, I want to get another one that's just like it. So I'm going to copy it and then I'm pasting. Control C and Control V are my friends. And I'm moving that over. Now I can select both of these by clicking and dragging. And I can go to arrange and make sure that they are aligned. Oops, on top. And then I want to resize them, so I'm going to go ahead and group them so that they will resize together. And if I drag them out a little bit, they will both get bigger. It's not just one that will because they're grouped. But let's say that I decide, oh, you know what, I really only want this one to be all the way down and this one to be half. Then what I need to do is I need to click on those and go back and ungroup them. And then I'm going to select just the one and make it about half so that I can put a picture down here below. As I type on these, the information will go in. I can change and edit the fonts as needed. I can also add a picture down here or any other text. I can group everything back together if I want to. Once I've got it finished and ready to go, I can publish this. Now here's the cool thing. I have last week's on there and this week's. I'm going to scoop this one up. I'm just going to click and drag it up to the top so that the most recent is on top. And to share this one, I could go over here to this file and publish to the web, which I might want to do if I'm going to need the embed code or if I want it to loop for the different slides. But for this one, I'm just going to show you this cool trick, which is to get edit and everything after it. And I'm just going to replace that with the word preview. And what that does, when I hit enter, you'll see this will be the link then. This link right here will be the link that I will share with my teachers, my parents. But when I hit enter, this is what the parents will see. And you can share that through your website or through Infinite Campus. But the parents see this. They see the newsletter that you have just created, and they can also go and see the previous week's newsletters as well with that preview because they're previewing the slideshow. So again, you might want, instead of having all of this black space out to the side, you might want your newsletter to be landscape instead of portrait, which would be fine. And you could go to the slides that you want as needed. Hope you find something useful. Again, if I went over anything too quickly, just go back and hit those basics videos to catch up. And I hope you